Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Performance Racing Formula 1 Season 13 Fangio Italian Grand Prix. I am Callum, and I will be taking through tonight through the 14th of 16 rounds of this Fangio season. Can Amos Casper, the second time I'm asking, win the championship? Or can Amos Godwin, the triple PRF1 champion, somehow hang on and take the championship one step further? We'll go through the trials, tribulations, the permutations in a bit, but it's good to have you here. And also, Sauber are on their first championship point. Can they win the Constructors? Can it be double Swedish delight tonight? Now, technically, Amos, Axel, and Robert Snipes are in championship contention, but they're not taking part tonight. Therefore, because they needed to take points out of Amos Casper, they will fall out of championship contention after tonight. There's only a small field of 13 tonight, so points will be readily there on offer. Now, this is where I will go through the championship standings, and then I'll go through the permutations. So bear with me. It's going to be a few minutes. By the way, it's sprint format as well tonight. There's extra points on offer, so we'll try and keep it short and sweet. With it being short sprint qualifying, your options and your qualifying ties are all readily available, so they get as a compromise from the game. Of course, with real life, you can only use options in SQ1, SQ2, and qualies in SQ3. New ones as well. So you can only use one set. Okay, so here we go for the Drivers' Championship. Amos Casper, the champion-elect, question mark. He has 508 points. Amos Godwin, the old man that could deny now, 403 points, 105 behind. Then you got Robert Slice, not present tonight, 393 points. Amos Axel, the defending and after tonight outgoing champion, 390 points, if not former. Then we've got Misfits in P5, 329 points. Amos Apple in 6, 319 points. P2 in 7, 308 points. Amos Josh, 253 points. Mass Freddy 9, 231 points. Big D in 10 with 229 points. 711 with 190 points. Amos Rappy in 12, 178 points. Our current defending Lauda champion is 12. Unbelievable. Then in 13th, we have Andrew Pittsmith with 144 points. Speedfreak with 132 points. The Dart 93 on 95 points. Tom GM with 34 points. Tom 32 points. And PRF1 Cloud, the league owner, with 16 points. Now, permutations regarding the Drivers' Championship. Long story short, because we have a sprint and a race, AMS Casper only has to lose 1 point to AMS Godwin, and he will be champion over the sprint and the race. Bear in mind, you get 20 points for winning the sprint, 50 points for winning the Grand Prix, and 2 points for a Grand Prix fastest lap. Okay? To keep that in mind. And then we'll go through the Constructors. We've got a lot to go through tonight. Sauber on championship point with 900 points in the lead. Ferrari second with 722 points. Racing Bulls in third, 720 points. The 3 teams that can take this championship. Haas in fourth with 477 points after 3 consecutive non-scores. Red Bull in 5th with 434 points. Mercedes in 5th with 421 points. 6 rather. Williams in 7th with 321 points. Aston Martin in 8th, 317 points. McLaren, the end of that Mercedes pad block. They have 249 points. Alpine, season Alpine most of the season, and that's at the back with 108 points. Now, for the Constructors, if I just bring up the permutations here on my phone, and also they will be on the screen. If Ferrari outscore Sauber by... Sorry, Sauber outscore Ferrari by 31 points. A Racing Bulls for 29 points. They'll win the Constructors. Now, with AMS Axel being absent from Sauber, that's tricky. Considering we have 2 Ferraris with PRF1 Callum being put in the Ferrari for tonight, with Massfred being in the Mercedes. And with Racing Bulls, bear in mind, AMS Godwin, AMS Trappy, that's quite the combination. That's quite the combination. And that's the end of our Paganosis in the championship. Now, we are still waiting for Speed Freak in his Red Bull. But meanwhile, we will now go on board AMS Casper. Can he beat PRF1 16th champion tonight? If you're watching as a video, you will see the list now, if not already. Can the Swede join an illustrious list, which I will go through at some point? It's a list that includes myself. It's a lucky list to be on. But meanwhile, what can the Swede do on those medium tyres? He will set a 118.640 on mediums in a Sauber. I couldn't do that in an equal car on soft. From James, that's a 119.612. Andrew Pismith on the sauce. The only sauce got a 119.537. Okay, then we have Master Spread. One of our head administrators in the Mercedes. Seeing how he will go tonight. What time does he set? That's probably a 121.781. Okay, and then it'd be PRF1 climbing the league on at 119.277. Okay. Then again, it's the case of where do we look next? I suppose we will look to the real Damon Hill. A man who's showing promise. He had issues with his equipment last night in the Midweek Madness League, which did have 100% around here. And that did prevent him from having a good finish. He was doing quite well there. He is fifth at the moment with a 119.917. And then we'll have Ollie Champ next across the line. I mean, he is invalidating. He's going through a scary. So I think our focus will be on one of the 15 names in PRF1 Championship history. At least on the driver's side. AMS Trappy, the defending ladder champion from Season 12. He's had a rocky campaign in both sides in Season 13. 13 really has been unlucky for the Scot. But can he play a role tonight in potentially spawning AMS Casper's Pie? Potentially even helping AMS Josh? He has spoken about if AMS Casper has a disaster, he will potentially deploy the team orders and let AMS Godwin have the win. Anyway, let's go natural with the Scot. Here we go. And AMS Trap sets a 119.376 on mediums, considering I'll probably want to flick that to best. That's a good time, actually, in a Racing Bull. A very good time on its home territory. So who shall we look to next? AMS Godwin, the only man now who can deny AMS Casper. He was the bridesmaid in both Lauder and Fangio last season. A triple champion himself. Has he got something else in it now? Him and AMS Casper in the MML last night had a very, 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 very good long race scrap. AMS Trap involved as well. And AMS Scott, let me tell you, he was really good on that long run. I know that was 100% in equal cars, but considering he's historically struggled with tyre wear, it's that a good omen. But a realistic racing moment in equal McLaren, they're two different acts. But he says 119.005. If he can't beat Casper, he has to be right with him, at least when where the sprint is concerned. AMS Josh, we will go for it with a lap with him now. As he breaks 100 meters into the Retrophilia. The chicane here put ready for the 2000 Italian Grand Prix. A very scary place, and I must admit from me, the absolute scariest turn one in League Racing, and certainly in Formula 1 with that long run and the big breakers up. He's gone for the Curva Grande. He's now going for the Della Roggia. Bit of grass on the exit, but that should have slowed it down too much into the first Lesmo. Very committed. The ground effect really helping now. And there's not much of the pause between going off the throttle and on the brakes, so he's clearly got that Williams sinning. And he's got the Mercedes power unit as well. And it's a 52.416 after two sectors from Amos Josh. And the car just looks so glued for a scary, don't they, when they just look right. Just looks so glued. That's the ground effect for you. I wonder if things will be very different when the 26 cars caught in the game, and because that's where we'll get the bigger test before we actually see the guys in real life round the Autodromo Nazionale Monza. AMS Josh sets a 119 TC4 to make it a Josh 234. It's a very popular name. They're all the three Joshes in the top four. And now we'll see the final stampede. Only 12 minutes in sprint qualifying, remember, with it being short. Only 12 minutes. Not very long at all. Interesting. On champ, Northeast Demon. I've set a time yet. But here's Mr. Fuse, the most experienced man in PRF1, at least in those tonight, if not ever. Small field, but what can my fellow Yorkshireman do? As he comes across the start-finish line, deploying all those Mercedes German horses. And I've made an absolute horse of it there. I was going to say, the horses of Stuttgart built in Brixworth. And then the car assembled in Brackley. As he now comes through Gervais Crandy. When we had the turbos the first time in the 80s, this was a terrifying corner. The second time round, not so much. And I imagine the third time round with the 26 cars, it'll be easy for that as well. But maybe it was on for clipping, we don't know. Anyway, that is to be considered for the future. As he then chucks it into Lesmo 1. His only time on the sauce, the qualifying tyre. And second, he's definitely giving it some welly. He's definitely pushing hard. You could see from the way he was turning the wheel. You can tell it's a wheel player, giving it the off flickage. Now coming after T-Section 5273, allegedly purple. Not quite sure that is. A lot of curb on the inside of the first bit of Ascari. Didn't yet exercise all the track out of the exit of Ascari. He might have a distant tow from Ollie Champ in front of him. But let's see what he can do. Into the Parabolica. Coming out of it, where can the Yorkshireman put that Mercedes? And it'll be a 193.5 with a lot of cars yet to make their soft time. Andrew Pittsmith is committing. So it's AMS Josh, does PRF1 Club. Bearman, the aliens do have to start on the soft tyres when it comes to the race itself. And I think we have to go with AMS Casper here. The champion-elect. The one that most people think could win. Bear in mind, he can get away with conceding 1 point to Amos Godwin across the sprint and the race, and he will win the championship tonight and take the Fangio crown across the one side of the Cyber Guides to the other. Using all the times. Bear in mind, it's his power unit on race, and he's quarter of a second up in his own time after 2 sectors. Last night in MML, he set a 17.7 in equal Red Bull. I'm not saying he's going to break that. Sticking with track conditions, remember, this will be equivalent to a Friday afternoon rather than a Saturday afternoon. But I think the Swede is looking very good. Flicking the wheel very hard. Coming through the Parabolica. Amos Casper on his pursuit on the championship tonight. He will set a 118.261 in a realistic Sauber. Take a bow. Only shot with 119.411. Next will be Fuse Demon. He will come across the line and he's going to pick. Of course, he already stays time. And he's not getting it in. The real Damon Hill, he will be next in the British Grand Prix liveried McLaren. He's going to pit. So then it's the case what Tom JM can do. PRF1 Clem, I think, goes 6. He's retired, Tom JM. He's going to start last. No, it wasn't PRF1 Clem. I do apologise. I think that was AMS Trap going at 118.853. AMS Godwin. A man under a lot of pressure. He has to at least beat him at AMS Trappy. Can he? No, he only barely improves 189.59, and that is it. I tried to make a whole except my commentary, but AMS Casper survives his first test, and he beats AMS Godwin for, if you can call it, a sprint pole here for the PRF1 Season 13 Fangio Italian Grand Prix. The host, I won a Formula's 5 crown jewels, along with Monaco, Britain, Belgium, and if it was back in the calendar, France. And it's AMS Casper that will take pole position. Absolutely wonderful. Don't go anywhere. The sprint is coming shortly. Now, should I explain the rule clarification? Aliens don't have to start on softs for a sprint. It just applies to the Grand Prix. But it's a marginal medium versus hard. So, what tires will people go for? Will anyone dare to go different? Let's see. Well, you can put everything I said about tyres in the bin. It's raining, and no one's told me. Usually have someone telling me about the weather. I feel let down, and we're going to go at 8:51 p.m. BST. Don't go anywhere. And if you're wondering about what types we're going to pick, I'm going to guess it's intermediates for everyone, and it is. I think the track must be damp and not wet, and besides, even if it was a full wet track, intermediates become the tyre very, very quickly when the line starts to dry. So this is a tough test for Amos Casper and Amos Godwin. It's scary enough as it is the run to turn. Want to see misfits going off the track on the formation lap. This is a tougher test as it is the run to the Rettifilio at any Grand Prix that you may hold at Monza. With championship implications on the line, and I've been there. I remember the Speed and Power League Season 3, the PlayStation side, when I was going for that championship, and it was the Lombard Grand Prix, and it was a 2-race format. I was wondering what I'm doing in my life, because it's scary enough making a start at Monza once, doing it twice in one night, like these guys after tonight. Or it's even scarier. Even scarier. So, I can't say I envy them. But, if this is going to be the making of Amos Casper, Amos Godwin, here it is. But bear in mind, if they both have a disaster, Amos Casper will be the happier of the two. As we appear to have Amos Trappy playing games. Both the Racing Bulls playing games as they both overtake Amos Casper. Not quite sure that is kosher. But I guess that is not my problem to work out. As everyone comes to the grid on their intermediate tyres. And we await the Italian Grand Prix sprint. Buckle up, everyone. This is going to be fun. This won't be dull. This won't be boring. As the 12 contenders line up on the grid. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for the sprint. We are go. Amos Godwin gets an electric start. But you know who else got a good start? It's Amos Godwin. Will Amos Trappy be kind to his teammate and his own Spider-Man? And yes, he will be. Into the field. Amos Trappy's in. And he has got Amos Godwin, but it's Amos Trappy who gets the worst of it. Amos Godwin somehow gets the win of it and wasn't spun round. Remember the 2011 Italian Grand Prix, the start of that, Amos Casper has made hay. And he leads Amos Godwin. He's doing what he needs to do right now. Master Spread is already third. That is quite great. Good to see. Amos Trappy 4th. Misfits in 5th. Amos Rushing 6th. Tom Gem out of the way. 5 places off the grid. What a start. Red Devon Hill in 8th. Ollie Trappy 9th. Andrew Pace moving 10th. Fuse Demon 11th. And PRF1 Callum Bastion in 12th and last. What's happened there? Meanwhile, Amos Josh trying to overtake Misfits. Can he do anything? No, but my DS won't be a factor. But currently at the moment, we have a non-alien in the sprint podium positions in the case of Master Spread. But Amos Godwin, he said he was confident if it was going to rain. Can he make that happen? He has to get Amos Casper here. He's got to make something happen. If he's going to outscore Amos Casper tonight, he has to try something in this sprint. And naturally, we are going to be looking at a lot of these with a championship between them. But he's allowed to play the Amos Godwin. That's allowed Amos Casper in the middle of the straight. Just get that gap. 1 lap down. 8 to go. 8 to go. And this is just something you can't keep your eyes off. We have the triple PRF1 champion trying to reclaim his crown as Fuse Demon leads the session. Here we go. Amos Godwin, he tries to Amos Casper into the Della Roger. He thinks about it. Oh, they were so close, but Godwin's got it close. Amos Casper, the dirty out of front win. Will have upset that Racing Bull, but out it goes again. And we see Amos Casper still being sure by Amos Godwin. Let's just give Fuse Demon an invite. That's very unfortunate for my fellow Yorkshireman. But AMS got to do his handing on with AMS Casper now with no DRS. He's going to have to do an all-natural overtake. I understand as well he's going to dry in this race, apparently. Well, sprint. It's not a race, it's a sprint. But it is a race, but it isn't. Oh, don't get me started on that. But you don't want to hear my personal opinion tonight. AMS Casper, meanwhile, still has AMS got an in pursuit. Is he going to try and surprise move into the Parabolica? No, but the battery games. AMS got is losing that. But I sense if he passes AMS Casper, he will pass the Swede. But the battery games, AMS Casper looks like he's got it covered. Look at the straight line speed AMS Casper's got, simply because he's not derating like the racing bullies. And he stays in the lead. Meanwhile, Masterbred around the outside goes AMS dropping on him into the Retrofeeder. Oh, wow. What a move there from the... We have this battle of Britain between the Lancastrian and the Scot. With AMS Josh in close pursuit. Can AMS Trappy around Curva Grande get around the Mercedes? Masterbred, no battery left. That's going to allow AMS Trappy into the Della Rogia. But Masterbred has it around the outside of the Della Rogia. Unbelievable. AMS Trappy tries to make the cutback, but he spins his wheels. That's going to allow AMS Josh to get very interested on his fella AMS Canspa. Masterbred, the leader of the non-aliens. He's making things very difficult. He said he was going to make things difficult tonight in the voice chat before I had to leave and commentate for you fine people. But he's putting on a show. In the division, he will defend to tooth and nail. And I have to admire his passion. Oh, so it's gone off. It's on Jim. Oh, my goodness me. What's happened to the Haas? What has happened? He has had a sensational offer at Ascari. I'm not quite sure that's striper error. That I think something's happened that just doesn't look right. And we go back to the fight for the lead and the championship. AMS Casper still has AMS got in close pursuit. How hot is that power unit? Last night in MML, power unit temperatures were skyrocketed, but man, it was a very hot and dry and clear sunny day. Very, very different here. But still, I'm curious about the temperature of the Racing Bulls. Red Bull Powertrains Honda power unit. But AMS Casper still pissed towards the Myrad battery in the right amount places. AMS Godwin he's so close getting towards the bottom of his battery pack. I think he's going to have it and then give it some go. As Masterbred has AMS Rapid and AMS Josh in close pursuit. Real David Nailing 6 doing very well in that McLaren. I have to say, Misfits in close pursuit when the race winners early this season. Misfits makes a mistake. Out to the Della Rogia, and that's going to allow all chance to make a move into the first last, but with it. Oh, there goes Sama Savage. But I think Magic makes it round the outside to just hand on, and he will maintain P8 in the sprint. Bear mind, points to pay to 15th in PRF1 Fangio in sprints. If you finish, you will score points, but Ollie Champ is thinking about making a move on his fellow Mercedes-powered chum. But he can't quite make it work, at least not for now. But again, we have to go back to the fight for the lead of the championship. It is the talking point. No disrespect to anyone else in the field, because we have got other race winners in the season taking part. Just because we're missing likes of AMS Uprights doesn't mean we're getting interesting storylines. But again, AMS Casper with the battery games just being a bit better. This will be quite interesting. F1 26 when it comes as PRF and Clemens over to Ollie Champ. Still have the quad right as AMS Josh has a look at AMS Trappy for 4th. But not much doing there, but that Williams is nominated. I sense if AMS Josh can make the move, he can get to Masterbred pretty quickly. But, as Murray would have said, catches one thing, passes quite another. And you're saying they're all depleting their battery packs there in the battle for third. As AMS Josh still, he looks like he's got more grip than Trappy, who has more grip than Masterspread. But the Lancastrian is just putting the car in the right places. So you have to give Masterbred credit. Clearly top non-alien, way ahead of Damon Hill. And he's not doing too bad against the aliens in front of me. We're fighting for this championship. But still, there's a good fight between them. We're trying to give everyone across field a bit more airtime as much as we can. But you can see, you got the fight for the lead in the championship. Then you've got the fight for third. Then you've got the fight for 6th. Then you've got the fight for 7th. Then you got the fight for will be 10th from the 14th. It would have been of the last runners. And there is something to fight for. Keep in mind, you get points no matter. As we begin lap 6. AMS Godwin still pursuing. He's finally now got more battery than AMS Casper does AMS Godwin. Meanwhile, Masterhead has AMS Trappy coming round the outside of him, potentially into the Metafilio. No, the German car stays ahead of the Italian car. But it looks like AMS Trappy's just struggling with traction now, usually. But they get AMS Josh interested. Not quite for now. He's still close to the front as well. We'll keep a beady eye on that, because that is one of the big fights. GT meanwhile has passed Ollie Champ for 10th, getting to the top 10. There's action everywhere here. It's hard to know where to look. Well, it's easy now, because AMS Scott is potentially trying to make a move, but AMS Scott into a scary. He thinks about it. Does he take it? Of course he does. But the Swede gives him just enough room. Oh, this is brilliant to watch. Oh, the traction that AMS Godwin gets on AMS Scott from Mascara. This is unbelievable. This is the fight for the win, the sprint win. AMS Godwin comes to block, but gives AMS Godwin just enough room. But he is fighting hard. AMS Casper wants it tonight, but AMS Godwin gets a cutback out of the Parabolica. So he's cares of all the battery gains, but AMS Casper's got more battery. That allows him to reclaim the lead. Yeah, the PRF1 season 13 Fangio Italian Grand Prix sprint. AMS Godwin, he had to try something there, I do think. But he's going to have to think about it all over again. Wow, 3 to go. We've now passed the flash on away and full cost coming deployed. So we're going to go green all the way in this sprint. Only 9 laps with the meaning 50% sprinter. But still. This is an ultimate test. And I think he's starting to try just a tad out there at the moment. AMS Godwin, he's in close with AMS Casper. If he wants to try and make hay and try the championship as long as he can out and try and keep the pursuit of the 4 PRF1 title alive, at least on the Fangio side, he's got to make something happen very quickly. Bear in mind, AMS Casper can afford to concede 1 point to AMS Godwin over the weekend, and he will win the crown. But here comes AMS Godwin. He's going to have a look. Oh, okay, come on, give us a good view. Into a sky, but AMS Casper has held him off. AMS Godwin is derating, but look how close the racing bull is. This is sensing. I do not believe it. The highest of high quality. AMS Godwin's going to go for it. But AMS Casper's going to use the battery. The batch game is keeping AMS Casper in touch. He just has a little bit extra AMS Casper when he really needs it. Because AMS Godwin is generally the quicker of the two. But track position when DRS is disabled is so key. 2 to go now. Half a second between the two title contenders remaining. And it is still quite close. AMS Godwin has tried everything to destabilize AMS Casper, but it's not working so far. The Swede keeps the Briton at bay. Meanwhile, in the battle of Britain for the podium, with AMS Trappy in a English sandwich, the Scots still trying to do something about that's right in front of him. And you know what? I think it's stop raining. This is going to be something because side temperatures will become critical, particularly in traction zones around Monza, out of Metafilio, out of Della Roggia, out of the first Lesmo, out of Ascari, out of the Parabolica. You really do have that rear end working for you. And I tell you one thing, I think the increase of speed on the track is starting to increase the DTR effect because they're going faster and managing tide temps is only going to get harder. And I think we can see that as well because AMS Godwin has dropped towards a second behind AMS Casper. If DRS becomes enabled, I think AMS Casper's still got AMS Godwin covered. So there's a second out of that gap in the front between the two title protagonists. I've got to say, this is incredible for AMS Casper. He has withstood the pressure of AMS Godwin. But can he hold on for one more lap in this sprint and just edge out a few more points than AMS Godwin? Can it be done? Here we go, the final tour. Meanwhile, AMS Trappy has a look on Mastersped for the fight for the podium. Can he do anything? He is closing in. The Scotbury's completed the battery pack. Mastersped just has a little bit left. Not much to do. Like you can see the top attacker is just in front of them. But AMS Casper's making a break for it now. I think that Sauber's been more suited to the dry. And it's shown now 1.7 seconds now. That is quite something else. As he stands now with 20 points for an 18th a second. Amos Casper will then be able to afford to concede 3 points in the race, and he will take the championship. But whatever happens, if Amos Godwin wins the Grand Prix, the championship will go on for another race. Amos Casper will force to wait another week, and the nerves will start to jangle, start to increase. But this has been sensational from the pair, and they have given it absolutely everything in the pursuit of. In the case of Amos Casper, a first PRF1 title. In the case of Amos Godwin, a fourth PRF1 title. Amos Trump, meanwhile, still trying to rotate Masterbread. Can he do anything to provoke it? They've both saved a lot of battery. But I do sense this is Masterspread's podium, as well as taking the non-alien class sprint win. But you have to say, Amos Casper, he is everything he needed to do, and he wins the PRF1 Season 13 Fangio Italy Grand Prix Sprint. Amos Godwin, a valiant second. Masterspread first. Third, Amos Trappy fourth. Amos Josh fifth. Red Demon Hill sixth. Myth seventh. Andrew Pete Smith eighth. And PRF1 Clem will come and finish ninth. The Fused Demon, he will claim the final position in the top. So Volley Chat finishing 11th and last. Amos Casper, take a bow. That is quite something else. Incredible from the Swede. As he now sets the statement, he's made it even out. Amos Godwin has to take 4 points out of the Swede here. Oh, now, don't go anywhere, folks. Don't go anywhere. This is going to be a crucial qualifying session coming up. Amos Godwin has to beat Amos Casper. He's got to put him in strife, and he certainly has to beat him. Can he do it?